They were once teammates in San Diego. For 2 seasons, Philip Rivers watched as starter Drew Brees developed into one of the NFL's elite. In 2006, Brees signed with the Saints and became a legend in Louisiana. He helped uplift a devastated city and brought his team to the top. Once Brees left, Rivers took the reins and has made every start since, also becoming one of the game's top signal callers. Both QBs entered 2018 with high hopes and unfinished business. The Saints returned to the playoffs last year and were eliminated in a stunner.
Touchdown! What a miracle finish!
But with one of the league's most electrifying offenses, they'll look to be back on top in the NFC. The Chargers finished last year strong, but fell just short of the postseason. But with big-time playmakers all over the field, they'll seek their first division title in 9 years. They once roamed the same sidelines. Tonight, they go head-to-head. The Saints and Chargers next. Saturday night in Southern California, from Hollywood to Los Angeles and right here in Carson. We've got preseason action for you. It's the NFL on CBS from StubHub Center. The New Orleans Saints and the LA Chargers. And welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. Ian Eagle along with Hall of Famer Dan Fouts. Evan Washburn joins us down on the sidelines. Great to be back. Another season for the NFL on CBS. Closing in on the start of the regular season. This is preseason week number 3, Dan, and 2 teams that believe that they have a legitimate chance to be in Atlanta to play for the big one this year.
Well, and really 2 good reasons. They were both trending in the right direction last season. The Saints won 9 of their last 12. The Chargers finished 6 of their last 7 on the victorious side. And they both have future Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Let's start with Los Angeles. Philip Rivers, he is showing no signs of slowing down.
Last year, he threw for over 4,500 yards and sacked only 18 times all year. He told us the other day that this offense has the potential to be the best he's ever played with in his 15 years with the Chargers, and a big part of that potential is running back Melvin Gordon. Over 1,000 yards rushing and 58 catches out of the backfield make him a dual threat. Keenan Allen had the 4th most catches last season in the league with 104 and was named Comeback Player of the Year. Defensively, the Chargers might have the best pass rushing duo in the NFL. Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram combined for 23 sacks in 2017.
One note, Gordon not playing tonight, dealing with a family issue, but not expected to be serious. Dan, with New Orleans, when you've got Drew Brees, you believe you have a chance to beat anybody in the NFL. He's already set a number of records. There's a chance that he might set them all when it's all said and done.
Yeah, 39 years old, entering his 18th season, told us yesterday that he never even dreamed of being in this position. And now not only will he accomplish a lot this year, he is most excited about the talent level of the Saints team. And that talent begins with last year's Offensive Rookie of the Year, Alvin Kamara. 6.1 yards a carry, 81 catches out of the backfield. And talk about catches, Michael Thomas's. He was 3rd most in the league in catches. Tall, fast, and talented is Thomas. The leader of the defense is 8-year veteran Cameron Jordan. 13 sacks, leads a deep and aggressive front 4. And the secondary is anchored by 2nd-year corner Marshawn Latimer, last year's Defensive Rookie of the Year.
We are set to go. New Orleans has won the toss, and they've elected to receive here in Carson. So for Los Angeles, it will be Caleb Sturgis doing the honors. There's a kicking battle right now for the Chargers between Sturgis and Aguayo, and a punting battle between Drew Kaiser and Shane Tripucka. Deep man is Brandon Tate, the reliable veteran, now in his 10th year, came over from Buffalo. We're underway. Deep kick. It'll come out to the 25 as we bring in the 3rd member of our crew down to the field at Evan Washburn.
Well, and you guys both laid out how both these teams have had their identities surrounded around their quarterbacks and their offense. But at the top of this year's draft, they both decided to invest in the future of their defenses. For the Chargers, it was safety Derwin James at FSU. Anthony Lynn feels like this guy can be special. He'll be with the starters tonight for the first time. And for the Saints guys, Marcus Davenport, 14th overall. His first game actions dealt with a groin injury all camp, about 15 snaps in this one.
Yeah, Saints believe that they are much improved on defense. Chargers believe the same thing. They got faster on D as Kamara gets the call for New Orleans. Drew Brees, now in year number 18 in the NFL, and obviously some emotions when he goes against the Chargers. That's where it all started for Brees in his National Football League career.
Yeah, and about 5 more games the regular season for Brees. He's 1,496 yards to pass the great Peyton Manning.
12 straight 4,000-yard seasons. Will that ever be duplicated? Brees to throw it on 2nd and 8. Tosses it over the middle. And Ted Ginn Jr. with the grab. And a modest gain sets up 3rd down after the 3-yard pickup. New Orleans, you're talking about a top 5 offensive line, protecting Brees and also creating openings in the running game for the electrifying talent Kamara. Mark Ingram II will miss the first 4 games of the season, suspended for PED. Kamara sets up as a wide receiver. He's so versatile in this offense. Brees on 3rd and 5. Pulls the trigger for a deep ball into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Derwin James. What a way to open up an NFL career for James as a starter.
Yeah, it's surprising that Brees didn't see James playing center field there. Slightly underthrown ball to Ted Ginn Jr., and James comes over. You can see that 6'2" height that he has and the leaping ability. 3rd play of his NFL career here in the preseason, and he comes away with a pick.
The number 17 pick overall, and they have very high hopes. Anthony Lynn believes he can be a special player, the rookie out of Florida State. And he gets Drew Brees here in the opening quarter. Phillip Rivers, who backed up Brees for a couple of years back in San Diego. And Rivers continues to move up the charts as well. Well, all turnovers are reviewed, and they will take a look as we step aside and come back. Our referee, John Hussey, confirmed it. The young man they call Pooh Bear, Derwin James, he got some honey.
Yeah, he goes up high for that jar of honey there. Ted Ginn is going to reach around and slap this ball out, but it's long after James has established the catch there and hit the ground.
Ironically, Derwin does not like honey, even though he's nicknamed Pooh Bear.
That is ironic.
First place from scrimmage for Los Angeles. Austin Eckler getting to the outside. Eckler accelerating into New Orleans territory. What a find he was last year. Now in his 2nd year from Western State, Colorado. 21-yard rip.
Really good cutback behind the block of Russell Okung and also Keenan Allen on the outside. But Eckler taking advantage of his opportunity tonight with Melvin Gordon not here.
Division II product. Very confident. Plays with a chip on his shoulder, not just because of the Division II designation, but also his size. 5'10", 200. Rivers, short toss, hits his man Keenan Allen. Allen picks up 5 on the play. No Joe Barksdale on the offensive line here tonight. So it's Sam Tebby getting the start on the right side, but a full complement of weapons that Rivers will have at his disposal for a team that finished 4th in total offense last season.
Set! Hey, listen to me. Mike's 53.
But just one playoff appearance in the last 8 years. That was back in 2013. Lost in the divisional round to Denver. Eckler's got an opening, and Eckler keeps the legs churning. First down, L.A. 12-yard pickup for Eckler. Brought down by Lattimore.
Well, again, running behind big number 76. Here's Eckler finding the crease here. Dan Feeney lining up next to him. Gets a good block there on Rankins, and Watt cleans up Manti Te'o.
When we talked to Eckler this week, we asked him about last year and the difference being in training camp where nobody knew who he was, including the head coach in many ways. He made a play, and Coach Lynn said, "Who is this guy?" And then Eckler asked him, "What do I need to do to make the team?" Well, just do a lot of that. Catching the ball out of the backfield, elusive moves by Eckler, working the perimeter for 6 yards.
Well, and Eckler also is a core special teamer. Very valuable. Marcus Davenport getting his first action of the preseason. filling in for Alex Okafor.
This New Orleans defense was ranked 16th in the NFL last season. Again, Eckler. First and goal for LA inside the 10. Kurt Coleman, the veteran, picked up in free agency, stopped Eckler, but not before he gained 9.
And this has really been a point of emphasis for the Chargers after last year, disappointing, just 99 yards a game gained on the ground. Well, that was worth being 24th ranked in the NFL, and right now they're just killing the Saints defense. 3 rushes now for Eckler for 42 yards.
Two of the more potent offenses in the NFL. We should see the starters for the first half. Rivers on a give. Eckler gets stacked up. And forward progress will get him back to the line of scrimmage. Manti Te'o, former Charger, combining with Cameron Jordan, the 3-time Pro Bowler, on the stop. Second year for Anthony Lynn as the head coach of the Chargers. 9-7 in his first season, but trending in the right direction. Injured Saint is Trey Hendrickson, who has really stood out in training camp in the preseason for New Orleans in his second year from Florida Atlantic.
That's always the coach's worst nightmare, is a preseason game and one of your promising defensive ends, or any position really, having to be helped off the field.
Well, that's one thing Sean Payton said about last year's draft class. They felt that they got basically 4 first-round picks. The way that draft class performed, it was historic. Defensive Rookie of the Year on the offensive end with the play of Alvin Kamara. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Lattimore. Second and goal, caught by Eckler and wrapped up. So Eckler picks up 5 on the play. Demario Davis, the former Jet and Brown, brings him down. It's 3rd and goal for Los Angeles.
And in talking to Sean Payton about the contributions that Demario Davis brings to this team, 7-year veteran, but brings physicality and leadership to that defensive unit.
He likes his linebackers and the versatility. Anzalone, who also plays, very good in coverage. Manti Te'o played in all 16 games last season for the first time in his career. Rivers on 3rd and goal. Delivers to the outside. Broken tackle, but angled out of bounds. Eckler. He's been the go-to guy on this drive, but Demario Davis did not let him get near the goal line.
Eckler told us the other day that he has studied Danny Woodhead, former Charger, and because of the same type of size and this ability with the strength of his legs to break the tackle of Davis. And the Chargers, it's preseason. Let's go for it on 4th and goal. What do you think?
Was that rhetorical, or you actually want my opinion?
I want to see Mike Williams, number 81 right here. He's going to be filling in for the loss of Antonio Gates here. It looks like he's going to get single coverage.
Shotgun. Rivers looks, throws too high. And he was looking for Williams. Had a touchdown last week in the victory over Seattle. Ken Crawley had the coverage for New Orleans, and the Chargers hand it over on downs. The Saints get it back. No damage done after the Breeze pick.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Walmart. Discover more ways to shop at Walmart today. Corona Extra. Find your beach. And by Verizon. Now go mix and match family unlimited plans.
It really was a unique situation in 2004-2005. Phillip Rivers and Drew Brees on the then San Diego Chargers roster. And when we asked Phillip about it, he said, yeah, look, it was a competition. Flutie was also a part of it. And Rivers said, I was trying to figure it all out. And he thought everybody handled it well. It's been a great friendship with Brees. They actually had a flag football scrimmage with their sons last year, and Drew went out and hired referees and made it very official, and we've got a nice dynamic between the two. Both are going to be in Canton one day. Shotgun for Brees, and a quick hitter underneath. Michael Thomas took a shot after the 2-yard pickup.
Let's go back to the incomplete in the end zone. You're going to see once Williams has got single coverage, check out Marcus Williams and the corner here, Ken Crawley. Watch the eyes of Marcus Williams right on him, in and out coverage. There's no place for Rivers to squeeze that one in, even though Mike Williams is 6'4".
The Chargers did not score a touchdown on their opening drive all of last season. One of 2 teams that didn't score a TD on the opening drive. Seattle the other. Hand off to Mark Ingram for no gain. Met by Corey Liuget, who will be suspended as well in the first part of the regular season. Similar situation to Ingram. Well, defensively, this Los Angeles squad believes they added speed to a group that gave up some big plays last year. They finished 15th in overall defense, but only 3rd in points allowed. That bend but don't break mentality that Gus Bradley instituted. It's Ingram. Crosses the 10, but not enough for a first down. 5-yard pickup, and the Saints will punt it.
Yeah, conservative call by offensive coordinator Pete Carmichael. Didn't like his field position there, and thought that Ingram might be able to pick it up on that draw play.
Tackle made by Kazir White. It'll be the veteran, Thomas Morstead. Kicking to Travis Benjamin, who is very dangerous on special teams. High punt. Benjamin takes a look, and now we'll circle. Benjamin to the outside, and Benjamin is a blur. Chased out by Morstead, but outstanding field position for the Chargers when we come back after the 49-yard kick. No score, Saints and Chargers on CBS. The NFL on CBS kicks off Sunday, September 9th. Our Super Bowl season begins with the terrific NFL Today team, 12 Eastern. And then we'll bring you regional action. J.J. Watt and Houston take on Brady and the Patriots. Kansas City heads to Los Angeles to meet the Chargers. Check your local listings as your favorite teams and players begin their drive to Super Bowl 53. Right here on CBS. A couple of injury updates. Trey Hendrickson is back in there for New Orleans. And good sign for Los Angeles. Joe Barksdale is on that right side. Did not participate earlier in the week. But Barksdale is part of this first-team offensive line protecting Phillip Rivers. 6:52 remaining in the opening quarter. Derek Watt and Austin Eckler in the backfield. Eckler picks his way with a dive across the 40 and a flag thrown. It's a 5-yard gain by Eckler. Will it stand?
I think they're going to get Mike Pouncey, the Chargers' new center, for holding, as Eckler cut right behind him.
Holding. Defense, number 95. 5-yard penalty enforced from the end of the run. Automatic. First down.
That's preseason, too, for analysts, you know. My apologies to Mike Pouncey. I hope he... Tyler Davison with the holding call.
Anthony Lynn said that Pouncey has just brought an edge, an alpha dog mentality to that room.
Plus a lot of athleticism, too, from that center position.
First down give. Eckler getting well-earned yards on the inside, bouncing around for 3.5, 4.
Well, in that first drive, it was all Austin Eckler. 4 carries for 41 yards. He caught a couple of passes out of the backfield for 13 more yards. So 7 touches for Eckler for 54 yards. Taking advantage of the opportunity, just as he did last preseason, to make the squad.
Grew up on a ranch, about 80 acres. They had horses, chickens, also had a younger brother, but Eckler was the one that had to do most of the work in Briggsdale, Colorado. Rivers. Deep shot. A little bit of contact, pushing back and forth, and too far for Travis Benjamin.
Yeah, these teams worked out twice this week together, and it was pretty spirited, especially in the secondary with the receivers. But that's perfect coverage by Crawley as he forces Benjamin all the way to the sideline. And Benjamin could have caught up with that ball. He might have caught it out of bounds.
Joint practices on Wednesday and Thursday in Costa Mesa.
Second year in a row the two teams got together because of the friendship and respect of the two head coaches.
Anthony Lynn, Sean Payton served under Bill Parcells in Dallas back in '05. Rivers, safety valve, Derek Watt bangs his way across the 20-yard line. And it's a first down for LA as Marcus Williams and Demario Davis combined on the tackle. 11-yard catch and run.
Rivers so good at reading the defense, hanging in the pocket, taking a shot in the back and finding his outlet receiver. I'm sure that Anthony Lynn doesn't want to see the big hits like that. That's a good hit by Marcus Williams. Smart hit. Didn't lead with his head and lower his helmet into Watt.
56 is the mic.
New set of downs at the 17. Change at running back. Detrez Newsome is in. And Newsome slithering inside for 3.
Yeah, Detrez has been busy in the preseason. 23 carries so far for 81 yards and 7 receptions.
He's out of Western Carolina. The Catamounts. Clyde Simmons, you might recall.
Is that in North Carolina or South Carolina?
It's in the western portion of the state.
Of the Carolinas?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'll show you a map during the break. 4:40 to go here in the first. Flip it. Creativity. Benjamin makes a cut. And Benjamin tossed down inside the 10. Marcus Davenport was not going to allow him to get extra yards. And he picks up 4.
Creative little flip by Phillip Rivers as he fakes the handoff one way and just the ball suspends in air until the speedy Benjamin can get to it. Pretty good tackle there that time by Marcus Williams and Davenport.
They are checking out Austin Eckler, who has been the offense so far for the Chargers. Newsome lines up in the backfield. Shotgun formation for Rivers on 3rd and 3. Give it to Newsome. Plows ahead. And Newsome has got a first down, 5 yards. Hit by Lattimore. Let's check in with Evan.
This looks like good news for Eckler. It was his left leg and knee area. Appeared to take a shot there. He's had a heavy workload here in this first quarter, but he has his helmet. He's talking to Anthony Lynn right now. He wants to get back out there.
And as we mentioned, Evan, Eckler was the one who went up to Anthony Lynn and said last year, hey, what do I need to do to make this team? And Anthony Lynn was thinking, well, who are you, first of all? And we can talk about this maybe another time. Newsome takes it in for the touchdown. Detrez Newsome has been impressive in the preseason.
Now that left side of the offensive line for the Chargers has been real good tonight. You got 2 tight ends there, Calkin and Green, and a really solid block there by Watt to clear the way. Just wiped out Kurt Coleman with that shot, and Newsome on his feet in the end zone.
Excellent field position. The Chargers get it done. Caleb Sturgis out there for the extra point. Knocks it through with a flag thrown. Sturgis, former Philadelphia Eagle, got injured last season. Played just 1 game and then was placed on IR, replaced by Jake Elliott.
Offside. Defense number 21. Los Angeles is elected to enforce the penalty on the kickoff. Timeout.
Patrick Robinson called for the penalty of the former Charger. Now they're flipping out here in LA. Chargers with a 7-0 lead on New Orleans. Our condolences. The news that John McCain has passed away. Served this country admirably in the military and then as a politician. Our thoughts are with him and his family. We rejoin you from Carson, where the Chargers lead the New Orleans Saints. Detrez Newsome has opened some eyes in this preseason, and they have a knack, Dan, of finding somebody every year, unheralded, undrafted, that has an impact.
Yeah, and especially when you think about Melvin Gordon not playing tonight, there's opportunities, and that's what the preseason is all about. If you get your chance, what are you going to do with it? You've got to perform. You've got to impress the coaches. It happened last year, obviously, with Eckler. And tonight and throughout this preseason, Newsome has done a good job.
Well, for Sean Payton, the plan has been to stick with the starters into the second quarter, looking at 25 snaps, some early outs if he likes what he sees. And he does want to see some of the second teamers mixed in with starters. Handoff Kamara. Alvin Kamara, Pro Bowler last year, and gifted. He mentioned to our group that there's a ton of playmakers on this team, so in the absence of Mark Ingram, he doesn't feel like he's got to be Superman. There are enough pieces around him that will get it done.
Well, he got everybody's attention last year, and he knows that he'll have a bullseye on his back. With the talent that surrounds this team, he's right.
On the boot, Breeze connects with Austin Carr, short of the first down as he was drilled by Desmond King. Casey Hayward is not playing tonight, and neither is Trevor Williams in the secondary.
And the slot receiver is Austin Carr. He learned a lot in New England, playing behind and observing Edelman, obviously. Julian Edelman out for the regular season with his suspension problems as well.
3rd and 3. Breeze trying to convert. Dropped by Kamara. Alvin Kamara has been working as a wide receiver, and he's based a lot of that on just mimicking what he sees from Michael Thomas and Ted Ginn.
And I asked him about that and working with the wide receivers and playing with Drew Brees. Had a great comment about how Brees delivers the ball. He says he throws the ball to your hands, just as he did that time. But Kamara was just a little bit short of the first down. I think he was thinking about picking up first down. There's a fake.
And the fake works. And look who it is. Taysom Hill, backup quarterback and a core special teamer. What a nice weapon to have at your disposal if you're New Orleans. 5 yards and a new set of downs.
Yeah, number 7, 6'2", 221. And really has got the attention of the coaching staff because of ability like that. We're going to see him probably in the second half tonight. A little bit of Tom Savage as well. But it's interesting you call him a quarterback and a core special teamer.
Not that often that I've said that.
Yeah, I mean, last year he was a special teamer and maybe a quarterback. But he's got their attention.
First down of the night for New Orleans. Play fake. Breeze has time. The wobbler is caught by Michael Thomas. Into Los Angeles territory. Kyle Emanuel with the hit. 26 yards on the hookup.
He caught 104 passes last year. Deep crossing route. Left side of the screen. You just had a glimpse of Ted Ginn Jr. clearing out that side. How about this stiff arm? I told you about they going at each other in practice twice this week, and that stiff arm was evident.
Ready? You ready for second?
Stiff arm Mager on the play. Another play action. This time it's underneath. Ingram breaks a tackle. Tough to bring down. Ingram not enough for a first down, but he turned what could have been nothing into something. 8 yards. Well, Michael Davis over there.
He showed his versatility on this little dump-off pass from Breeze. First, it was the quickness of his feet to get away from the first tackler. And as you said, Ian, he did break a couple of tackles as we end the first quarter.
1 quarter of play in the books here in Carson. The second quarter is coming up. The Chargers leading the Saints, week 3 of the preseason. The dress rehearsal for the regular season tonight in California. His name is a legend, but his adventures are just beginning. Jay Hernandez stars in the new Magnum PI. That's Mondays this fall on CBS. We start the second quarter here at StubHub Center. Opened back in 2003. Also the home, of course, of the LA Galaxy. And they've gone soccer crazy here in Southern California. 2nd and 2 for the Saints, trailing the Chargers 7-0. The NFC South is going to be very competitive this year with Atlanta and Carolina. Both made the playoffs last season along with New Orleans. Kamara in there on 2nd and 2. Fake it. Breeze sells it. Then dumps it off for Benjamin Watson, who's got a first down inside the 25. 6-yard pickup. Some storylines in the NFC South. Can the Panthers avoid distractions and reach their potential? Atlanta, they got Julio Jones all worked out. They're trying to play a home game at the Super Bowl, and Jameis Winston suspended 3 games. How do the Buccaneers handle adversity?
Yeah, Cam Newton working with former Charger head coach North Turner in Carolina.
Kamara turns the corner. So dangerous. He's shifty, he's slippery. 8-yard gain for Kamara.
Yeah, the vision is what it's all about for Kamara, to get into the secondary, and then the power, refusing to go down.
Well, Anthony Lynn's defense trying to deal with him. Meanwhile, Sean Payton said Kamara is the 2nd smartest player on his team. His instincts are part of what makes him so valuable. Zach Line getting a carry. The fullback picks up 3.
Yeah, this is where the Chargers really need to get better on defense, is against the rush. Last year, 31st in the league stopping the run, giving up 131 yards per game.
No Joey Bosa once again, still dealing with that foot injury. This is the 10th play of the drive for New Orleans. Bridging the 1st and 2nd quarter. Breeze. Kamara. Oh, he thought he had it in the open field. He got tripped up right around the 5 and then stumbled down as Derwin James helped save a touchdown.
Breeze reads this blitz here this time by Melvin Ingram rather. Nobody there to pick up Kamara out of the backfield except the strong safety, Derwin James, and that's a fine tackle. That would have been 6.
But it does set up New Orleans with a 1st and goal. At the 2. Single setback. Kamara gets the call. Kamara plows in. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara, the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year in 2017, caps off a long drive.
Right up the middle with Unger and Warford, Ramczyk on that side. Good head of steam here without a lead blocker. And he gets in with ease as the die comes over late.
And Dan, they are going to go for 2.
Now remember, they faked the punt on the first part of this drive. So this is what the preseason is all about. Practice your trick plays and practice your situational football.
Looking for the lead. Nice toss inside. Did Thomas break the plane? He did. And New Orleans goes in front 8-7 on the Chargers. Michael Thomas is 6'3". He used that length and hit pay dirt. Touchdown from Kamara, and the 2-point conversion. Breeze to Thomas. Saints lead it now 8-7. You know, one thing about Kamara, looking at the numbers last year, he never had more than 12 carries in a game last season. Obviously, they had 2 1,000-yard rushers with Ingram, and he was so efficient. But that number is going to go up with no Ingram in the first month of the season.
And another remarkable stat is he only fumbled 1 time.
Yeah.
For a rookie, that is phenomenal.
Will Lutz kicking it off. Desmond King, this is returnable 2 yards deep in the end zone. King makes a cut. And King is hemmed in just across the 15-yard line.
Let's go back to the 2-point conversion, and you're going to see blocking here by Ginn and by Carr. And from the outside, Michael Thomas will get into the end zone. But these are legal blocks because they're within a yard of the line of scrimmage. And you talked about Thomas being 6'3", and he needed it to get all the way across that goal line.
So New Orleans with the advantage, and a change in quarterback. It's Cardell Jones, the Ohio State product, former Buffalo Bill, acquired in a trade last year. Anthony Lynn coached him in Buffalo. Jones looking downfield, hits his man working the sideline. The connection made with big Mike Williams, and a big target. Yes, questions at tight end because of the injury to Hunter Henry. Williams believes he can fill the void, especially in the red zone.
Well, and we just saw how strong the right arm of Cardale Jones is. A deep comeback route on the outside. Perfect timing. 13 yards and a first down. Good way to start for a young quarterback.
Antonio Gates, future Hall of Famer, still available. Had been with the Chargers since '03. On a pitch, Newsome stumbles down as we check in with Evan Washburn.
Well, I was able to catch up with GM Tom Telesco on the field before the game, and I asked him, what's the best way to describe where you guys are with Gates at the moment? And really the only way he wanted to go was the door is still open. Now, when we spoke with Phillip Rivers, he mentioned that he'd obviously love to have Gates, and if it's as we get closer to week one, it's a thing where we got to make this thing kind of happen. It's that sense where they want to see it happen if it's going to happen at some point. But again, the official word from the Chargers, door's still open.
And Telesco is in his 6th year as the general manager of the Chargers. 2nd and 6. Jones on a give, and Newsome has nowhere to go. And this is what the Chargers currently have at tight end. Virgil Green comes over as a free agent from Denver. Green known more as a blocker, although Anthony Lynn believes he can be a factor in the passing game. Then there's Braden Bowman, 0 catches in his NFL career. Sean Culkin, 0 catches in his NFL career. Hunter Henry out with a torn ACL. And when we talked to Rivers, Evan mentioned it regarding Antonio Gates. He said, you know, I remember back when the team got Keenan McCardle late in his career, and defensive backs still had to respect him at the age of 36 because of what he had done. Jones goes down. Onyemata, first man there for New Orleans.
You get a taste of what Dennis Allen is thinking, defensive coordinator for the Saints. Young, inexperienced quarterback, bring the blitz, and here it comes, and it gets home. Onyemata will take him down with some help. There's a big man they're trying to bring down, 6'5", 250. They're going to share the sack between Davenport and Onyemata.
Drew Kaiser will punt it, and Brandon Tate is deep. And the point with McCardell is that they still had to respect him. He believes Gates would still get respect.
There's no question Gates would still get respect, especially on 3rd downs and in the red zone, where he's been so spectacular.
FL on CBS is sponsored by AT&T. More for your thing. That's our thing. Progressive Insurance, handing off big savings to you. And by Bud Light, reminding you to not drink and ride your horse.
Well, Dan, there is the future home of the Chargers and the Rams, Los Angeles Stadium, an entertainment district scheduled to open in 2020, located in Inglewood.
Look like a modern-day Stonehenge.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going for. No, there's going to be some other accoutrements.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I was told.
And a salad bar, maybe?
Maybe. All you can eat. Tom Savage is in for New Orleans, so Drew Brees is done.
It's going to be spectacular.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, it's something else. And the whole area, the Rams and Chargers, got to be extremely happy to be playing there.
And the home of Super Bowl 56. Ted Ginn, that raw speed, taking it to the outside. The 12-year veteran. Tom Savage, last season with the Houston Texans, when Deshaun Watson went down, Savage got the chance to start. Started those 7 games. The Texans, though, went just 1-6 over that span.
And in talking to Sean Payton about Savage, he wants to see him have some success so he can build his confidence back up. And mechanically, maybe speed up that release a little bit.
2nd and 4. Fake it. Savage. Well-designed play to Austin Carr, who angles for the first down. That covers 6 yards. Carr, who walked on at Northwestern, nothing flashy, just goes about his business and will work the middle of the field.
Yeah, that's so important, especially in the way the game is played today. You've got to have a slot receiver who can tell the difference between man and zone, and when it is zone, where is the soft spot?
Ready.
One change on the offensive line. Jermon Bushrod is in there. On the boot, Ted Ginn Jr. Little cut on a spin move against Desmond King. And it's an 8-yard gain through the air.
Ginn in his 12th season in the NFL. Showing quickness. We all know about his speed.
Drew Brees, that'll do it. 7 of 9, 59 yards, the pick, but then led the Saints on the long drive.
We're going to go over there.
Brees is tied for 3rd in career touchdowns. Peyton Manning the leader. And as you mentioned earlier, a little less than 1,500 yards away from Manning for the all-time career record, 71,940. Mark Ingram II thought he left some yards on the field, 6-yard pickup.
Ingram has had a solid first half.
Can you hear the ocean when you do that?
He does. He spent enough time in the ocean.
That's
really
true.
An avid surfer.
Ooh.
Out of San Diego, loves that Del Mar beach.
That might be a tease of some sort in the television business.
I'm learning.
46-yard line for New Orleans. Tom Savage on a give for Ingram, bottled up behind the line of scrimmage. He couldn't break away from Isaac Rochelle. All right, you wanted surfing, you get surfing. Back in June, he got some surfing lessons from world champion Kelly Slater at Slater Surf Ranch here in California. Slater said Brees showed 6 months of progress in 1 day. Excellent form from Drew Brees.
And he even threw a football from the surfboard to Slater, and it was right on the money.
Well, I mean, that part you knew he could do. Just staying upright, that was the question. 2nd and 14 for New Orleans after the loss by Ingram. Passing situation, Savage pats the ball underneath. Ingram trying to break away. A little stiff arm as he crosses midfield, just nudging into Los Angeles territory. Jeff Richards will get credit for the tackle.
And the 2009 Heisman Trophy winner had 58 catches last year for Drew Brees. In fact, the Saints threw more screen passes to Ingram and Kamara than any other team in the NFL.
Change at center. Josh Laribis is in. So this is what Sean Payton talked about, mixing some of the ones with the twos. This is a 3rd and 6 for New Orleans. Savage, they handle the rush. Savage puts it on the money. Austin Carr, big gain.
And this should do a whole lot for the confidence of Tom Savage, because this is a fantastic throw in a small window right over the middle. Reaching out with his hands, his Carr does not break stride and picks up a huge gain of 29 yards for the Saints.
Brought down by Jenkins and King as Carr split defenders, and Savage is 4 of 4, 52 yards.
And that's the first time he went down the field. He was dinking and dunking until that one, and his confidence has got to be rising.
Savage, a 4th-round pick back in 2014. Traquan Smith and Tommy Lee Lewis both in there for New Orleans, and it looked like Savage ran out of time. Just under 5 minutes to play in this second quarter.
Delay game. Offense, number 12. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Pete Carmichael now in his 10th year as the offensive coordinator of the Saints, 13th year with the organization. So there's been a lot of stability on this coaching staff, with Sean Payton now in his 12th year as the head man, suspended back in 2012. That's why you've got the 1-year difference between Payton and Carmichael.
Ready? You ready? What's up?
1st and 15. A hole for Ingram. And those legs churning to the tune of 10 yards.
And then you go back to that graphic, you saw the balance that the Saints had last year. Number 5 rushing, number 5 passing. When you add that together, it gets you all the way up to the number 2 offense in the NFL.
And 4th in scoring at 28 points per game. This is a team that won 8 straight from late September to mid-November. And things had gotten a little bit stale. They had 3 straight 7-9 seasons before busting out with an 11-5 year in 2017. It's Ingram running with a purpose. They will whistle it dead. Ingram would not go to the ground. Desmond King over there defensively. And King, another lower draft pick that has panned out for Los Angeles. We've talked about free agents and making the most of the draft. So give Tom Telesco a lot of credit. Top 4 picks this year were all defensive players for LA.
And all Desmond King did last year, picked up 4 sacks from his cornerback position. That was the most for any corner in the NFL. Most of them coming off the slot.
3rd and 1. They give it to the fullback. It's Zach Line. They push the pile, and it is enough for a first down.
Yeah, it's great effort by Line because Kyle Emanuel, number 51, met him at the line of scrimmage. And what Line did is he dropped, watch 51 here, Emanuel come in here. And look, the legs keep going as he runs right through the tackle of Denzel Perryman because he got low. Low man wins in short yardage.
So this drive remains alive. Gus Bradley brought a lot of energy and passion to the position last year as defensive coordinator. Now in his 2nd year, former head coach of the Jaguars for 4 years. Ingram powers through the middle for 3. Hit by Michael Davis. And that corner spot for Los Angeles with the injury to Jason Verrett yet again, Achilles injury. So the hope is that Trevor Williams can repeat some previous success. But Williams has been banged up and Michael Davis has been a little up and down. But they've liked the ups in the preseason.
And Casey Hayward, the other corner, has been battling a hamstring problem. So the Chargers unlucky when it comes to the injuries for, seems like forever for this franchise.
12th play of the drive coming up for New Orleans. They've taken up nearly 8 minutes. We've hit the 2-minute warning. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report. CBS News takes a look at the life of the late John McCain. It's coming up at the half. 2 minutes to play here in the 2nd quarter in Carson, California. 2nd and goal for New Orleans. A long drive for the Saints, and it's been Tom Savage directing it, not Drew Brees, who exited after going 7 of 9 for 59 yards and a pick.
Yeah, Brees ended his stint with 4 straight passes, and Savage has started his with 4 straight passes, completion.
Fake it to Ingram. Savage tries to twirl out of trouble, gets rid of it, and it's incomplete. 3rd and goal for the Saints. Pressure from Legion. So Sean Payton will dial something up here on 3rd and goal. Now they've got decisions to make at wide receiver. Payton's talked about keeping 5 or 6. Meredith, Floyd, Lewis, Carr, all in the mix. Going along with Thomas, Traquan Smith, and Ginn. Incomplete. Josh Hill, the tight end, could not haul it in, and it's 4th and goal.
Yeah, not sure that this is the best choice for Tom Savage. Hill laying out for this one, so he makes that catch. It looks like Kaiser White is going to keep him out of the end zone. Good effort by Hill and a poor pass by Savage.
Will Lutz on for the short field goal, 25 yards to extend the New Orleans lead. Morstead will hold it. And long snapper is Zach Wood in his 2nd year from SMU. Right down the middle for Lutz. New Orleans in front, 11-7 on the Chargers.
Versatility of the Saints running backs, Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara, on display tonight. That's a couple of catches now for Ingram. And Kamara has his one catch for 10 yards, but this is why the Saints are so dangerous and why they will miss Mark Ingram for those first 4 games. Perfect combination, perfect complement of running backs.
And they've had a banner at training camp that says, "Prove them right." They know what the expectations are, and I think the Saints recognize that this is the window. Drew Brees.
That's a real good point, Ian.
How many more years? You had a chance to sit down with him one-on-one. Realistically, how many more years can Drew Brees keep playing at this level?
Well, he was only sacked 20 times last year, and with this running attack that the Saints have, he's not going to get hit as much. They've changed the rules on roughing the passer. So all things kind of line up where Drew Brees can play as long as he wants.
39 years old.
Tremendous condition.
Yeah, still energetic, still learning, still working.
Still passionate.
Brees told us, "I know when it's done, it's done. So I'm soaking up every moment. This team has a chance to win another Super Bowl." First down for Los Angeles with 1:46 to work with. And Cardell Jones, deep drop. That didn't go as planned.
Trying to set up a screen, and a good job by the Saints sniffing it out.
Mitchell Lavin and Marcus Davenport. We're talking about young defenders. Davenport's the rookie out of Texas San Antonio. Lavin's in his second year from Arkansas. New Orleans is deeper than they've been in recent years, both sides of the ball.
And they've stayed relatively healthy throughout training camp.
Jones looks one way, goes the other, and nobody home. In the vicinity, Travis Benjamin. But Jones just tossed it up there, and Benjamin didn't even see the flight of the football. Davenport with some pressure on Cardell Jones.
Well, they're going to bring the blitz again. This has been very effective for Dennis Allen. You can see Anzalone coming, and then Manti Te'o coming a little bit late. They meet at the quarterback.
Davenport's been dealing with a groin injury himself. He gained 40 pounds over the last 2 years to put himself in this position to be a difference maker as a pass rusher in the NFL. 3rd and 10. Jones steps up in the pocket, directs his teammates downfield, but nobody's open. And Jones is brought down by Onyemata. A 1-yard pickup for Jones, and the Saints defense has looked strong.
Yes, since that first pass by Cardell Jones that he completed for 13 yards, it's been difficult outing for him.
We'll be back in 30 seconds after this from Walmart. 1:29 to play in this first half. New Orleans has 2 timeouts remaining, and the Chargers will punt it with Drew Kaiser. Chargers also have Shane Trapuka on the roster, both out of Texas A&M. Brandon Tate, deep man. The ball doesn't get anywhere near him, and it just lays there at the 42-yard line. That's where New Orleans will take over after the 32-yard kick. And the Saints have time to work with here. 1:20 on the clock.
They have time to work with it because the Chargers only took 17 seconds off the clock in that 3-and-out. Incomplete pass, and then on 3rd down, the Saints wisely called timeout. Now they'll get great field position with 2 timeouts for Tom Savage.
Well, we mentioned the joint practices between these two teams. Anthony Lynn saying that he and Sean Payton did bond during their days in Dallas because they would both get reamed out by Bill Parcells, and they'd have to have someone to chat with about it. Savage drops it in the bucket. Tommy Lee Lewis. Beautiful catch. And Savage well placed along that sideline against Jeff Richards.
Watch the hands here of Tommy Lee Lewis. Kept his eyes on the ball the whole way. Got in behind Richards. Huge play on first down.
And the Saints in business deep in Chargers territory. Shane Vereen, the veteran, picks up 2 yards. The question, who would step in for Mark Ingram during that 4-game suspension? And we asked Sean Payton about it. He said, well, he sees Vereen really more as a backup for Kamara.
Similar type of back. Vereen's made his career catching the ball out of the backfield.
Stepping up, Savage out of the pocket, he tosses it away. So the way that Payton put it is Jonathan Williams could get an opportunity. He likes him. Pass protection still a work in progress. Boston Scott, another young running back out of Louisiana Tech, a 6th-round draft pick. He likes the way that he runs off tackle, but he wants to know more about Scott. After this game, he feels like he can make more of an assessment, and the Vereen comment really was more connected to Kamara than it was to Ingram.
Well, he's similar to Kamara. Williams more similar to Ingram.
3rd and 8. Under a minute to go. Catch by Vereen. Hit down low. Vereen thought he had a head of steam, but Jeff Richards made sure that he didn't get to the marker. 2-yard pickup.
Now, that's a bouncing back for Jeff Richards. He gave up the long pass to Tommy Lee Lewis, and then he just drops Vereen here right on the side of his helmet. Tremendous tackle.
Vereen, who won a Super Bowl with New England. Last year played for the New York Giants. Originally a 2nd-round draft pick in 2011. So timeout called with 3 seconds left. We'll be back in 30 seconds after this from Liberty Mutual. 3 seconds left on the clock. Will Lutz will attempt a field goal for New Orleans, 35 yards. Los Angeles only 8 yards of offense in the 2nd quarter. Lutz made one from 25. This one from 35. He knocks it through. As time expires, New Orleans 14 and the Chargers 7. End of the first half. Coming up, it is the Verizon halftime report. Start of the second half with the Saints leading the Chargers 14-7. Let's take a look at our first half highlight. It's presented by DirecTV. A fake punt. That's what we're going with.
Yeah, perfect snap, and Taysom Hill picks up the 5 yards easily to keep the drive alive, and that led to a Saints touchdown.
Saints will kick it off, so the Chargers will have it first. Chargers will wrap up the preseason at San Francisco. Saints will be home for the Los Angeles Rams. Will Lutz gets this 3rd quarter started. J.J. Jones had a long punt return last week for Los Angeles. And let's check in with Evan Washburn.
Well, I spoke with both coaches. Let's start with Sean Payton first. He liked how his guys, his phase 1 group, his starters responded to that early turnover. Love that there was a lot of situational football in that first half. Now, the second half, it's going to be all Taysom Hill. He knows he's a runner, wants to see him manage the pocket as a quarterback. Now, as for the Chargers, it's now Geno Smith. Cardale Jones tweaked his hamstring, so Geno has this second half, and Anthony Lynn says he knows this entire offense. Just go out there and run it, guys.
And remember, Geno Smith played for Anthony Lynn when Lynn was an assistant with the Jets under Rex Ryan. So he knows the talent level. Geno now in his 6th year in the NFL. Play fake. Smith. He's got a cannon for an arm. And a toss over the middle to Andre Patton. Was on the practice squad last year, and it covers 14 yards.
And it's a post route, and the timing is perfect. Smith got back. He saw the blitz coming, knew he didn't have a whole lot of time, but the man-to-man coverage there and the good route to get inside by Patton for the first down.
Line of scrimmage is now the 39. 2nd round pick in 2013. Geno Smith. On a handoff for Newsome. And nothing there. No gain on the play. Devereaux Lawrence, 1st-year defensive tackle from Auburn, with a stop. So for Geno, First year with the Chargers, was with the Jets, then last season was a backup to Eli Manning with the Giants.
29 career touchdown passes, but 39 career interceptions.
His rookie year, he got the starting job. Mark Sanchez got injured against the Giants in the preseason, and Geno Smith threw for 3,046 yards, 12 touchdowns, but 21 picks. Smith on the short toss to Culkin. And Culkin is brought down after picking up 3 yards. A.J. Klein.
Yeah, watch the shot across the face mask and then exclamation point.
A.J. Klein came over from Carolina last year, 5th round pick in 2013. Really made his name on special teams initially with the Panthers, eventually becoming a factor defensively. 3rd and 6. Chargers down by 7. Smith deep drop, steps up. Smith fires. Bobbled and dropped. Jeremy Davis looked like he had it, but the former Giant could not secure it.
And it looked like Geno could have taken off and picked up this first down with his legs here, because he breaks the pocket, but his eyes are down the field. He sees Davis on the crossing route and puts it perfectly to Davis, but give a lot of credit to the strip there by Natrell Jamerson as he punches that ball out.
And now it is Shane Trapuka, the rookie from Texas A&M, averaged 44.3 yards per punt in his career in college. Tommy Lee Lewis, the return man, and they bring him down. 37-yard punt, just 5 yards on the return. We'll step aside. More third quarter action. Saints up by 7 here in Carson, California. 12:42 to play in the third quarter. It is Tom Savage remaining at the quarterback position for New Orleans. And Savage did a nice job in that first half. Finished up 6 of 9 for 90 yards. We expect to see Taysom Hill as well. Evan talked about it. Sean Payton, phase 1, get the starters action. Phase 2, work in some of the second teamers. And then there is a phase 3 for Sean Payton with third stringers blending in. Handoff, Jonathan Williams. Not a whole lot there, 2 yards for Williams. Why the optimism for New Orleans?
Well, this unfinished business, nobody will ever forget the Minneapolis Miracle. But for the Saints, you know, they've got this man, Drew Brees. He's one of the all-time greats, looking for his 2nd Super Bowl. But it's on the defense that where they're so deep. Defensive Rookie of the Year in Lattimore, and they pick up Davenport, number 1 in the draft.
Changes on the offensive line. Cameron Tom is in, along with Will Clapp and Michael Ola. Williams reversing field and takes a shot from the side from Jatavis Brown, leading that charge for LA. A loss of 4. And last year, the process was sped up because they cashed in on the draft. They just hit home run after home run. Their GM, Mickey Loomis, now in his 17th year, is also the head of basketball operations for the New Orleans Pelicans, by the way. Lattimore, Ramczyk, Williams, Kamara. You toss in Anzalone and Hendrickson. These are all players that are now a big part of what's happening in New Orleans. Savage, a dart underneath, caught by Lewis, and then gets up, tries to run it for the first down, but on a 3rd and 12, doesn't get enough. Picks up 8, and the Saints will punt. Adrian Phillips in on the stop.
And that's the tough thing about losing that 4 yards on 2nd down. Jonathan Williams, thinking he could reverse his field, really sets up a real difficult 3rd and long. And the Chargers playing deep, allowed that short pass.
No kicking questions for New Orleans. They've got 1 punter, Thomas Morstead, and 1 kicker, Will Lutz, on the roster. Morstead the punt. J.J. Jones backpedals to the 14. Jones weaving through traffic, and 2 flags fly. He's dropped at the 22. 54-yard punt and a 9-yard return as Marcus Williams, the other Marcus Williams, the former New York Jet and Houston Texan, makes the tackle. Been pretty clean. John Hussey.
During the return, illegal block in the back, receiving team number 97. That penalty is half the distance to the goal. First down, timeout.
That is the first penalty tonight against Los Angeles. 14-7, New Orleans in front.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Verizon. Now go mix and match family unlimited plans. And by Walmart. Discover more ways to shop at Walmart today.
Well, Dan, these LeBron murals have been popping up all over Los Angeles. Look who's featured here. You got LeBron, you got Chick Hearn, you got Kobe, you got Shaq, you got Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain, Gail Goodrich, James Worthy, Elgin Baylor,
Jamal Wilkes,
Jerry West, Martin Luther King, and of course, haters gonna hate. That was the message. And I hear it loud and clear. I'm not one of those haters, but there are some of them around the country, Dan.
How many Hall of Famers in that mural?
All of them.
Spectacular.
On a handoff to Newsom. And Newsom, nowhere to go. Except LeBron James. He's not in the Hall of Fame yet. Eventually.
I think it's a safe bet.
Yeah, you're going to go out on a limb?
Yeah. It's a thick limb, too.
Kobe as well, not in there yet. Martin Luther King, there's a separate Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
Hall of Fame of people.
Absolutely.
10 minutes to go here in the third with New Orleans leading at 14-7. Geno Smith out of the gun. Fake it. Wow, Geno to run on a design run. Little option. Manti Te'o there to bring him down.
Yeah, the high snap kind of messed up the exchange there. And you can see the eyes of Geno Smith looking at the defensive end. That's why he kept the ball.
3rd and 7. Here comes the blitz. Look out. Smith gets rid of it. Snared by Davis. This time Davis holds on, and it's good enough for a first down. Marcus Williams was coming off the edge, and Geno had to get rid of it like a hot potato.
A real risky pass and a heck of a catch by Jeremy Davis. There's the blitz. Smith hangs in there and throws that one up for grabs, and it comes down to his teammate. Tight coverage that time by Justin Hardy.
Davis, the all-time record holder in catches and yards in UConn history. Driving is Newsom for 2.5.
But what we're seeing out of Geno Smith is why he's going to be the backup quarterback for the Chargers. He recognizes defense, gets rid of the ball quickly, very little hesitation. And you talked about the strength of his arm, too. And he's mobile enough to pick up yards with his legs.
Last week had a touchdown pass in that win over Seattle. Fake it. Smith hurls it downfield, juggled and dropped. Artavis Scott, a lot of contact, and Chris Banjo with the smack.
Yeah, Scott has had a good training camp. First 2 games he caught 7 passes, but that's a huge drop because Geno put it right between the linebackers and the safety coming up late. Bounced off his shoulder pads.
Scott's been on the practice squad for Los Angeles, won a national championship at Clemson. 3rd and 7 for the Chargers. Play clock down to 1. Smith out of the pocket, looks downfield. Geno throws, knocked away. He was trying to squeeze it to Andre Patton, and Von Bell makes the play for New Orleans.
Great pressure by the Saints. Again, dialing up the blitz, man-to-man on the outside. Bell with a super play, reaching around with his right hand. But also, if the ball were to get through, he had his left hand on the hip of Patton. That would have kept him from picking up the first down.
So another punt for Shane Tripucka, whose dad played football, Chris, at Boston College. We're on that NBA theme. His uncle Kelly, an NBA star. Punt to Tommy Lee Lewis. Lewis goes in the wrong direction and did not realize that there was still a special teamer from Los Angeles back there who had overrun him initially. And it was Andre Patton. Flag on the play. 39-yard punt, 4-yard return. And this one, initial indicator against L.A. John Hussey checking over on the New Orleans sideline. With 7:49 to play, third quarter.
Holding, kicking team number 83. New Orleans is elected to enforce that 10-yard penalty from the succeeding spot. First down, timeout.
Penalty on Bowman, give the Saints 10 yards. More third quarter action in a moment. Coach on his son Gunner's flag football team. Rivers says he wants to continue to coach his kids once his playing days are over. They say Gunner's throwing style is very similar to his dad's. You see that? If you're scouting Gunner?
You know what? I'd be thinking about getting him a scholarship. Those two passes were perfect.
You want to talk to somebody at Oregon?
You know what? That's not a bad idea.
Wait, I think that's a violation.
Is that it? Yeah. Well, you brought it up. I didn't agree.
Oh, it's only a violation if you bring it up.
That's right.
New Orleans leading at 14-7 with Taysom Hill now in for the Saints. On a handoff, the give is to Boston Scott. 6-yard pickup, and we send it down to Evan Washburn.
Yeah, here with Philip Rivers. And Philip, let's use the whole week to kind of evaluate what you got out of this, because you only really went about a quarter. What do you think this offense and this team was able to get out of this experience with the Saints?
I think it's good. You know, as a quarterback, I got 60-plus game reps in practice with a red jersey on, so it was good. But it's just good because it's time in training camp where you know our guys so well, both offensively and defensively. So to see some different coverages, some different looks, have our guys up front have to block some different guys, pass rush and run block. I think we got a lot out of the week.
Whenever we see you and Drew on the field together, we obviously harken back to that time when you started your career. How did you avoid it being awkward?
Well, I think, credit to Drew, and I like to think we both handled it well. You know, it was competitive. We were competing like crazy, but we developed a friendship as well. We pulled for one another. I don't know that it can make sense, but it was good. I really appreciate those 2 years. I hope that I've helped him get better. I know he certainly helped me, and then it worked out just how it was supposed to.
When we look at this year and the way last year ended, what's the best way to describe the emotion you felt and this team felt about the way it ended and what it means for going into this? And stay healthy here.
Yeah, I think it was one of those years where, I mean, you always want to get in the postseason, but we were playing at such a high level that if we could have got in, we really felt like we had a chance to run the table. But we didn't get in, so that, into the offseason hungry. We're hungry right now. 2 weeks from tomorrow, we start, in the division, home game against Kansas City. So we have high expectations this year, but we know it's a long season. Stay healthy and find ways to make plays each and every week to win.
Last one, we know Hunter's down, no Gates at the moment, but Mike Williams emerging. What's it mean to this offense?
Mike's done a heck of a job of being available every single day in training camp. He hadn't missed a practice. He's been very consistent. We all saw the unbelievable catches like he had last week in the preseason, but it was, can he be out there every single day and be consistent? He's done that, and he'll be a big part of the offense this year.
Philip, always good to catch up. We'll see you week one.
Thanks, Evan.
All right, Evan, great stuff. Philip Rivers has been an Iron Man. 192 consecutive starts.
And you can tell he still has that enthusiasm, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
He'll be a heck of a coach, too, if he wants to do that. I mean, not just for his son and the kid level, but, I could see him in the NFL.
He was coached by his dad in high school, so it's in the blood. Catch and run. Smith has been impressive for New Orleans in the preseason. Rookie out of Central Florida, dropped to the third round, but he's got Tremendous wingspan, 6'2", 210, size and speed, and another big play potential piece for Drew Brees to work with.
Yeah, Sean Payton likes his receivers tall, but he also likes them fast, and that's exactly what he gets out of Traquan Smith, Michael Thomas, Cameron Meredith, who I haven't seen tonight.
Have you come in contact with any coaches that like them short and slow?
Not that are still coaching.
That's right, it's brief. Boston Scott. Now that's the player that we said Sean Payton would be keeping his eye on tonight.
I think the officials were looking at Jermon Bushrod. Backside of that play.
Holding. Offense. Number 74.
Yep.
10-yard penalty. First down.
It is Bushrod, two-time Pro Bowler. His second stint with the Saints. 7-point lead here for New Orleans with 4:24 to go in the third. 11-5 last season. But on the wrong end of that miraculous play by Minnesota in the NFC divisional round. 1st and 20. Fake it. Hill sets, fires, too high. Another flag. Tommy Lee Lewis, some contact along the perimeter. Brandon Faison is disagreeing with the penalty marker.
Pass interference. Defense number 36. Ball replaces the spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
And apparently not going to win that argument.
Yeah, it's a deep out route by Tommy Lee Lewis, number 11 here, against Faison. There's the grab right there. Easy call by the officials.
So it gives New Orleans a first down just shy of the 15. Boston Scott. Zigzag move for 2. Hit by Hayes Pollard.
That is Scott's second carry of the night. His first one through traffic and showing some power. Remember, he's just 5'6", 203 pounds. And not that Sean Payton wants to say he's going to be the next Darren Sproles, but obviously the body type is similar.
Scott walked on at Louisiana Tech and then taken in the 6th round in this year's draft. Hill. A dart underneath. Shane Vereen can't break away after the 3-yard pickup through the air. Brings up 3rd down. Pollard with another tackle.
Yeah, Taysom Hill is in his second year, but he is 28 years old. Went on a mission after graduating from BYU. But you saw the quick release there, and that's what has Sean Payton excited about Hill. Yeah, oh yeah, plus he runs a 4.4 240, which happens to be the second fastest combine 40-yard dash for a quarterback to Michael Vick.
Hill. Buy some time. Hill, now a runner. Hill looking for the pylon. He's in. Touchdown, Saints. Taysom Hill. Creative.
Now, we talked about his speed, but he's going through his progressions. Looks right, looks over the middle, back to the left, and now he's going to take off. And look at this block here by Traquan Smith, just enough to get Hill to the pylon and in the end zone.
He curled in. Sean Payton said last year his tape, preseason tape with Green Bay, he got weighed by the Packers, but he was blown away by his tape. He said he reminded him a little bit of Tony Romo as a rookie, and Sean Payton would know, going back to their Dallas days. They're going to go for 2.
Yeah, made it the first time. Going to have to call timeout as the play clock running down.
It was down to 1.
Charge timeout.
2 timeouts remaining for New Orleans. And Payton also said that the players love playing with Hill. I think part of it is what he brings on special teams and the fact that he's a contributor in that part of the game, so there's an appreciation for it.
Yeah, and respect. He's a four-core special teamer. And you saw the reaction after he got into the end zone.
Yeah.
His teammates just mobbed him.
Injuries at BYU, that was an issue. Ran track in high school, that's apparent. 2-point attempt. It's Hill. Can he do it again? He can. Hill tacks on 2 more.
And we talked about his speed, but he's 6'2", 221. He's going to break a tackle after making a nice catch of the snap. There's the tackle, and there's the 2.
Well, the Taysom Hill highlight package tonight. He gained 5 yards and a fake punt to keep a drive alive. 11-yard touchdown run, and then the 2-point conversion as he kept it himself. Put the Saints in front 22-7 with 2:29 left in the 3rd quarter. Jones, the return man. And this one unreturnable coming out to the 25. Atlanta, Georgia, the site of Super Bowl 53 this February right here on CBS. At the home of the Atlanta Falcons, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Well, for Los Angeles, no Joey Bosa, such a big part of this defense. Bosa dealing with a foot injury. Pro Bowler last year with 12.5 sacks. NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year in 2016. Smith operating out of the gun to open up this drive. His team is down 22-7. Smith intercepted, and it's Craig Robertson taking it to the house. A flag down. A lot of contact as that ball bounced up in the air directly to Robertson.
There's going to be pass interference against the Saints to wipe out that pick 6.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 25. Ball replaces the spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
Well, Artavis Scott is number 10. There's the contact before the ball arrives. And that one will go against Marcus Williams and wipe out 6.
So instead, it's a first down for Los Angeles. Line of scrimmage is the 29. Smith to the outside, makes the connection with Andre Patton, another grab for the Rutgers product. Matched up with Natrell Jamerson out on the perimeter. 7-yard gain through the air. This Los Angeles team, they are the only squad in the AFC West without a new QB or a new head coach. So a lot of changes within the division. And the Chargers are embracing the expectations and the stability from last year to this year. Remember, they started 0-4, nearly made the playoffs on a toss to Newsom.
Yeah, when you think about the Raiders, new head coach in John Gruden, new quarterback in Mahomes in Kansas City, and a new quarterback, although a good one, in Denver, in Casey Kasem. So it's one of those situations where you have stability here with Rivers and Anthony Lynn in 2 very important positions.
And it was Case Keenum last year as a member of the Minnesota Vikings that burned the Saints in the playoffs with the pass to Stephon Diggs. Just over a minute to go here in the 3rd. Smith. The catch by Newsom, avoiding a tackle. And the clock continues to roll after the 7-yard catch and run. Justin Hardy with the stop. So the ball now at midfield. Last time the Chargers won the AFC West, 2009. Lost to the Jets in the divisional round that year. On the ground for Russell Hansbrough. First year running back out of Missouri, had a couple coffee with Tampa Bay. He's bounced around a bunch of practice squads, the Buccaneers, the Giants, and the Chargers last year. So, Chargers are moving the ball, but they trail 22-7, and they're not even going to break the huddle for a play here at the end of the third. We go to the fourth here in Carson, California. Fourth quarter action after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 53. Start of the fourth quarter here at StubHub Center in Carson. 22-7, the Saints on top of the Chargers. LA with a 1st and 10 at the New Orleans 45. Play action. Smith waited a long time, and it cost him the sack. George Johnson gets to Geno.
Yeah, he was looking for J.J. Jones, but the Saints double covered Jones right about the goal line. And Geno had to pull it down when Johnson closed in on him. But J.J. Jones, exciting young receiver. And that, as you talked about, that 72-yard punt return last week. That's how you make the team, is showing your versatility as a receiver and on special teams.
Loss of 6 yards, so back it up to the 49 of L.A. Play clock winding down. Smith, shotgun. Step and throw. Intercepted, telegraphed it. Could be a pick six. Down the sideline, Marcus Williams all the way for the touchdown. Geno Smith. The turnovers have been a problem in his NFL career.
Yeah, you talked about him telegraphing. Look how he's staring down the receiver. Williams steps in front of Patton, and with his speed, nobody even gets close to closing on him. A lot of Saint fans here as the Saints celebrate in the end zone.
A couple of ex-Jets with the defensive ex-Jet, Marcus Williams. And a souvenir. You made the trip to California. That's going to be carry-on for the way home. Williams had 6 interceptions in 2015 as a member of the Jets. Was an undrafted free agent and just gave Sean Payton a fourth quarter highlight in preseason game number 3.
As a spectacular read by Williams as he did not go for the fake down the field. Stepped in front of the hook route, and it was clear sailing after that.
So big smile from Marcus Williams trying to make this Saints squad. 58-yard return. And New Orleans extends its lead. And they're keeping Taysom Hill on the field, which indicates another 2-point try.
Yeah, it gives you an idea what they're thinking about for the regular season. You know, with his ability to run the option and scramble, the speed of a running back and the power and size, pretty good option here for the 2-point plays.
Well, the dual threat, you have to respect it if you're the defense. It is a running play, and they convert with Boston Scott. So the threat that Hill could keep it himself, you have to be aware of it and cognizant, and then it's Scott who slices in. 3 of 3 on 2-point conversions tonight for the Saints.
And they're running the same type of offense that Hill ran when he was at BYU. Sean Payton told us that something is going to happen when Hill is on the field. Sometimes it's not so good. Tonight, it's been awesome.
Defense and offense all wrapped up into one nice little bow for New Orleans. New Orleans extends its lead 30-7 with 14:02 to play in the fourth quarter. Will Lutz kicking it off. J.J. Jones is deep. Jones from the 2. And Jones dropped at the 25 with a flag thrown on the play. 3 penalties against LA tonight, 4 against New Orleans.
Personal foul, double team block by the receiving team. That penalty is half the distance from the spot of the foul. First down.
Let's check in with Evan Washburn.
Well, Lion, this week, football fans in LA and across the country got to know the inspiring story of Alex Ruiz. Alex is a 17-year-old quarterback from Temecula, California, who suffered a severe right knee injury last fall. It forced him to lose his right leg. Now, in May, his relationship, and Alex joins me now, grew with Drew Brees, his favorite quarterback, who actually, through the Challenge Athletes Foundation, has provided Alex with 2 prosthetic legs, a walking and athletic one. And Alex, give me a sense of what it's meant to have a guy that you grew up with his picture on your wall be such a big part of what's been a challenging part of your life.
It's really something I can't describe. It's something I never imagined happening. But having this chance to have a conversation with him in person and just get to know him as a person and see how much he genuinely cares about the people that where he started his career from, and just how much he took the time to get to know me personally and listen to my story and listen to the things that I've gone through and say that I've inspired him just means the world to me.
How has he inspired you, as we were talking before this, to keep your dreams alive of being an athlete? It looks like baseball, as you mentioned, is now in your future.
I mean, just like he got hurt back when he was with the Chargers, I kind of just take from that and the words that he's spoken to me, just that no one can tell me what I can and can't accomplish through this, and just trying to work towards every single day of going to physical therapy and taking it serious and taking just the little things of walking and running as serious as I can to get back on the field.
Well, Alex, your story has been impressive. We're so happy to have you here. Good luck, and I think we all know you're going to succeed.
Thank you so much.
Ian.
Wow. Oh, what a great young man, Alex Ruiz. A friend of Drew's from Temecula had shared the story last year, and then Drew sprung into action.
And the Challenge Athletes Foundation doing more good work. Alex soon to get one of those blades, so he'll be able to run again.
The pass outside to Newsom. Just 3 yards and another punt. And it's Shane Trapuka deeper in Los Angeles territory. So the Chargers week 1 will be home for Kansas City. As Philip Rivers mentioned with Evan earlier, right out of the gate, you're going to find out where you stand in the division.
The Chargers were swept the last year by Kansas City. They opened the season back there and lost, and then lost late in the season. Chargers missed out in the playoffs by 1 game.
High punt, Trapuka. Tommy Lee Lewis from the 31, and he brings it to the 40. 49-yard kick, a 9-yard return. New Orleans in control, preseason game number 3. More fourth quarter action.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by AT&T. More for your thing. That's our thing. Bud Light, reminding you to not drink and ride your horse. And by Progressive Insurance, handing off big savings to you.
You like cards, Dan?
I do. I've never played a game, though, with 6 cards.
Well, we're reshuffling the AFC West deck. John Gruden, of course, back in the fold as the head coach of the Raiders. Patrick Mahomes takes over in Kansas City. There is Case Keenum. See if he can make a long-distance dedication this year for Denver. Jordy Nelson, a new face with the Raiders. Sammy Watkins, KC, and Martavis Bryant coming over from Pittsburgh.
That'd be a full house right there.
Right there. Oh, you like that hand. Tommy Lee Lewis bursting through with a late flag tossed. Brought down to the 47 by Jatavis Brown. Penalties starting to pile up.
Well, they usually do when you get the reserves in the game.
There's no holding on the play. Second down.
All right, not this time though. False alarm.
That was a good throw by the official, though.
Oh, that was high and far. 2nd and 3. We mentioned the Chargers' first game. New Orleans opens up in the division as well. The Saints will host Tampa Bay, sans Jameis Winston. 52nd season in franchise history for the Saints. Hill on a give for Boston Scott. And brought down immediately, no gain. So New Orleans will take on Tampa Bay out of the gate. And then home for Cleveland before back-to-back road games at Atlanta, at the Giants, and then Washington week 5 before an early bye in week 6.
Yeah, the Cleveland Browns. What an interesting team. A lot of changes on that team, additions. Quarterback situation with Mayfield. What do you think?
Is it Tyrod? Is it Tyrod? These are raging questions. Hill, a rope. Traquan Smith after the catch abilities, and a flag comes down.
And they're going to get holding here. Trying to spring Traquan for a big play. It was a 23-yard gain, but there was holding deep in the secondary.
Holding. Offense number 17. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 3rd down.
Yeah, Michael Floyd, the 7-year veteran.
Yeah, he's got all kinds of jersey there. Keeping Faison away from making that tackle. It's hard to hide out there in the secondary.
Floyd trying to carve out a niche. His name really was not popping up very often, but now recently starting to get a little more in the mix. Former 1,000-yard receiver with Arizona back in 2013. 13th overall pick out of Notre Dame a year prior. Hill will keep it. Hill bounces to the outside. And there's the speed of Hill with a flag down.
Yeah, they're going to get the tight end, Dan Arnold, for holding on this play. But just marvel at the speed of this quarterback.
Holding. Offense number 85. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
Dan Arnold is a converted wide receiver who checks in at 220 pounds.
He didn't expect Hill to be running to the outside, so once Hill got around him, the defensive back reacted, and Arnold just reached out and grabbed him.
So 1st and 16 back to the New Orleans side of the field, just shy of the 50. Play fake. Hill out of the pocket. Look at the room. Taysom Hill. Nice little juke move as he gets out of bounds, out across the 35.
Now, he did a good job of recognizing cover 2 man-to-man. That means there's nobody responsible for the quarterback. In the secondary, they're playing man-to-man with 2 deep safeties, and that just allows him, once he gets out of the pocket, all kinds of running room, and smartly getting out of bounds after 17 yards and another 1st down.
And sets up New Orleans at the 33 of L.A. They already have 30 points on the board.
Hill was the leading rusher coming into today's game, and he is the leading rusher right now for the Saints.
And a burst by Boston Scott with 30 points. Normally you'd say, all right, 3 touchdowns, 3 field goals. No, it's 3 touchdowns, 2 field goals, and 3 two-point conversions.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you go over that again?
You'll have to watch the tape later.
I love the 3 two-point conversion.
Well, it puts something on tape and something teams have to be aware of, and the fact that they're so flexible with Hill in there. Boston Scott runs into a wall. 1-yard gain for Scott, and it brings up 3rd down. So Taysom Hill, 5 carries, 37 yards to lead the Saints with a team that has Kamara and Ingram on the roster.
He's got 15 carries now in the preseason, well over 100 yards. And that's not counting those 2-point conversions.
And he's 4 of 4 throwing it for 44 yards. Hill on a give, driven backwards. Jonathan Williams on a 3rd and 1. He didn't get there. He got drilled by Nwosu.
We've seen the Saints go for it on 4th down. Wouldn't surprise me if they keep Hill on the field now and run some type of option play. Give him the chance to use that 4.42 speed.
Last week, Hill had some ball security issues, 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles in a 20-15 loss to Arizona. They had 4 first-half turnovers. 4th and 2.
Trying to use a hard count here.
From the 25, Chargers don't bite. And a timeout called. 1 timeout remaining for the Saints. Down to 7:37 to play here in the 4th quarter. We'll step aside. It'll be 4th and short for New Orleans when we come back. 4th and 2 for New Orleans. They lead at 30-7 over the LA Chargers. Keep the offense in. They'll go for it. Hill out of the gun. Looking to throw and does. Hits his target, Traquan Smith, for a 1st down. Needed a couple, picked up 4 through the air, and this drive remains alive for Sean Payton and company.
Yeah, another good play selection there. Gives Hill the run-pass option. Found Smith along the sideline and delivered another good pass. Perfect night throwing the ball now. 5 for 5 for 55 yards.
Well, JT Barrett's got the helmet on. Hoping to see some action here in preseason game number 3. Right now it's all Taysom Hill. Hill looking deep, out of bounds, incomplete. Cameron Meredith, the former Bear, trying to bounce back from a torn ACL. Blanket coverage along the sideline.
Yeah, a great job by Channing Stribling to force Meredith all the way to the sideline and then out of bounds. No place for Hill to get that ball to the inside because of the coverage by Stribling.
2nd and 10. Smith, the motion man. Hill on a give for Scott. Running off tackle, Scott got drilled by Pollard. 3-yard pickup.
He's got some quicks though, doesn't he?
He does. They released Terrence West earlier this week. West, a veteran with Cleveland, Tennessee, and Baltimore. And they're taking a look at Boston Scott, Jonathan Williams, another young running back formerly with the Buffalo Bills. They've got the veteran Shane Vereen. Shotgun on a 3rd and 7. Here comes the rush. Hill flips it underneath. Catch made by Vereen. Turns it upfield. Vereen's got a 1st down. Brought down just inside the 5.
Saints do such a good job with their screen game. And that time Hill gave the impression that he was in trouble, getting a lot of pressure. But he calmly looks off the defense and then finds Vereen. This is what Vereen does so well. Makes one tackler miss to Zubnar and then picks up a 1st down. Good for 13 yards.
1st and goal from the 5. Hill fakes. Hill throws. It's a strike. Touchdown. Traquan Smith. Taysom Hill has been impressive.
You know, part of quarterback's development is recognizing defenses. Look at Smith find the dead spot in the zone before Zubnar can come over to prevent that touchdown. 7 of 8 now for Hill for 66 yards through the air, then on the ground. 5 carries for another 37.
And Dan, guess what? They're going for 2.
Really?
Yes.
What's wrong with Lutz?
Well, they know what they got in Lutz.
Now they know what they've got in Hill as well.
Quick count. Williams, that one doesn't go anywhere. They were rushed. and it never quite got moving in the right direction. Nick DeZubnar helps to make the stop. So 5:26 mark of the fourth. New Orleans now leading at 36-7, and a lot of Hill highlights for the Saints.
Yeah, Sean Payton said that something's going to happen when this kid's in the game. He is 28 years old, so he's not really a kid. Second year in the NFL, mostly as a special teamer last year, but he's showing off his versatility and all that speed. And remember, at 221 pounds, a quick delivery there, that touchdown pass. He's got the power to run through tackles and run away from them.
Well, you see a defensive player, Matiteo, coming over to congratulate Hill, and because of his special teams play, he's got bonds at all different levels of this roster. The kickoff by Lutz. Jones ranging over. They had him hemmed in, but Jones has the speed and goes airborne. Short of the 25-yard line. 15-yard return for Jones. Robert Nelson helps to make the stop. 5:19 to go, fourth quarter. And a change at quarterback for Los Angeles. It's Nick Shimonek, the rookie out of Texas Tech. Transferred from Iowa and put up outstanding numbers last season. 3,963 yards. Very accurate. 66% completion rate. 33 touchdowns and 10 picks. And off for Newsome. Short of the 30-yard line. That's a 6-yard gain for Newsome. Clock moving. We will hit the 5-minute mark.
We can close the book on Geno Smith. 7 of 11 for 45 yards. Did throw that interception that was returned for a touchdown.
Shimonek out of Mildred, Texas. Newsome again. And just inside the 30 for a couple. Nate Stupar with a tackle.
You got to figure that Anthony Lynn is giving Shimonek the direction to run this clock out. Let's get out of here. Let's get ready for next week with the 49ers, but really with the Kansas City Chiefs. Most important in 2 weeks.
Well, as we've seen in week 4 of the preseason, the majority of NFL teams do not play their starters unless they're looking for something specific. You're going to see second teamers in there. Shimonek puts that one in the air and a flag thrown. Justice Liggins, the intended target out of Stephen F. Austin in a matchup with Lyndon Stevens. Penalty marker thrown at the 49.
Pass interference. Defense, number 40. Ball replaces the spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
And it is against Stevens of the Saints. Well, for Los Angeles, not just the 0-4 start last year, but the bad taste in their mouth with the kicking game. Because those could have been some wins, and all of a sudden you're looking at a maybe 10-win, 11-win season. And there's still question marks in the kicking game this year for Los Angeles with Caleb Sturgis and Roberto Aguayo on the roster. Terrell Watson gets the call on that one. It's a 7-yard gain for LA.
Yeah, and Anthony Lynn told us that it's really Sturgis' job. They brought him in to be the kicker, but they've been surprised at the competitive nature of Roberto Aguayo and how well he has done. Only one chance tonight for Sturgis. He converted the extra point. As to the Chargers offense, tremendously disappointing, not giving the kickers any opportunities.
Aguayo had the highly decorated college career at Florida State, a high draft pick of Tampa Bay, and it just didn't work out. He couldn't make kicks. Second-round pick. He was on the practice squad of Carolina. The Lou Groza Award winner in 2013. Sturgis is a 6-year veteran, was actually a 5th-round pick back in 2013. originally with Miami and then Philadelphia. And they had 4 different kickers last year. They couldn't find someone that they could settle on and feel stable with. 3rd and 4, Shimanek gets rid of it. And a nice throw into New Orleans territory. Nelson Spruce with the catch.
Yeah, Shimanek showed a lot of poise that time. He had backside pressure coming, slid away from it, and kept his focus down the field. And as you said, Ian, that was really a strong pass.
Well, Aguayo not seeing any action tonight. The one thing in those 4th preseason games, we'll see the kickers. So he'll get another shot at it, potentially, next week at San Francisco. We hit the 2-minute warning here in Carson. It's all Saints, 36-7. 36 unanswered points by the Saints. The Chargers led this one 7-0. And we're down to 1:59 to play in the 4th quarter. Nick Shimanek getting his opportunity for one drive with the Chargers. Shimanek is dumped back at the 45-yard line. Devereaux Lawrence combining with Sherrod Niesman. Sets up 3rd and 19 with 1:35 to go. Line of scrimmage is now the 44. Shimanek has the time, got the arm as well, and nearly had his receiver. J.J. Jones. Incomplete. Robert Nelson back there just got a piece of it.
It looked like Nelson's going to pick this one off as they both go up. Nelson may have mistimed his jump just an instant there. And that distraction was enough to cause the incompletion.
So 4th and 19. Shimanek breaks the huddle, but not a whole lot of time on the play clock. Down to 2. And it just reset. Shotgun with 1:11 to go. Shimanek steps up, and Shimanek is devoured. Cameron Moore, the rookie from Boston College, leading the brigade.
Yeah, he came on the corner blitz. Shimanek did not read it, not go to his hot receiver. But that's a perfect call in that situation by Dennis Allen. So if he throws to his hot receiver, it's going to be well short of the first down. And here comes the blitz by Moore. And down he goes.
So the Saints take over at the 35. Chargers have all 3 timeouts remaining, but why would you use them? 1:02 on the clock. Hill takes a knee. Saints came out to the West Coast and took care of business. The joint practices with the Chargers and then the game itself. And we saw all 3 phases stand out at different times for New Orleans.
In that first half, it was a balanced offense led by Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara. Of course, the passing of Breeze. Second half was the Taysom Hill show, wasn't it?
Sure was. Throwing the football, running it, 2-point conversions.
And defensively, the Saints gave him just that opening touchdown to the Chargers in the first quarter.
And that will do it. So the Saints improved to 2-1 in the preseason. Chargers dropped to 1-2. Drew Brees, the former Charger, making his way out to midfield. And for Sean Payton, an impressive showing by his squad. One of the favorites in the NFC, the New Orleans Saints. They handled the Chargers tonight, 36-7 here in Carson. Well, for the Chargers, no Melvin Gordon. Defensively, missing some pieces. They got some work for Phillip Rivers, who ended up 5 of 7 for 29 yards. You know, Rivers himself, when we asked him, how much would you like to play? He said, yeah, you're kind of torn. You get in there and the juices get flowing, but then you realize, hey, you don't want to take chances. You don't want to push it. And Anthony Lynn made his decision. Pretty quick exit for Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, and the troublesome thing, though, for the Chargers in the quarterback position behind Rivers, Cardale Jones went down with a hamstring injury, and Geno Smith, after a good start, did throw a pick six and couldn't get the Chargers anywhere near the end zone.
Well, the slow start for the Chargers last season really put them behind the 8 ball. They opened up 0-4. 3 of those losses were by a combined 8 points, so tight losses. Kicking game wasn't working. They were searching for answers. They came to the East Coast and got a win over the Giants, and that started to propel them. They won 6 of their last 7, 9 of 12 if you look at the bigger picture, and they really feel good about themselves going into 2018, and maybe a different role where the expectations are a bit higher. For New Orleans, a lot of smiles, including Drew Brees. Evan Washburn's with him right now.
Hi, and thanks. Well, Drew, that first series probably seems like a long time ago, but you've been here before. You throw a pick in that first series. What do you like about the way you guys responded in this game as a first unit?
Well, I think we came out a little sluggish. You know, it took us a while to get a first down, which was frustrating. But I think once we did, we got things moving. We were able to go down and get a touchdown with the first group. So I think it was a productive night after that. You know, I felt like offensively moved the ball well. Guys made some big plays. Defense came up with some big stops. Got the pick six. Special teams played well. So I think all in all, it was a good night. Yeah,
I'd love to get your sort of observations, because you spent so much time on the sideline, about what this offense did, specifically the quarterbacks that came in, and maybe that second-tier running back that we know is going to be important in the first few games with Ingram out.
No, absolutely. Listen, it's both quarterbacks played well. Tom Savage and Taysom both made really good decisions, made some plays. Running back position was good. We thought we ran the ball well tonight. Made an emphasis on that. So, you know, we'll see how it shakes out. We got one more preseason game. Unfortunately, it's a numbers game, you know, so when it comes down to the cuts, you know, you're trying to maneuver a lot of different, you know, positions as far as, running backs, receivers, tight ends, all these pieces and roles that you're going to need as you go into the regular season. So we'll see how it shakes out, but, man, they all played well tonight.
Talked to Phillip in game about the joint practices, and he mentioned, 60-plus reps. For you, what was your most important takeaway from the time you spent here in L.A.?
Well, it is a lot of reps, which is good. It's you know, you get to that point in camp where, man, you're just tired of going up against your own squad, you know, and so just to kind of have that new experience where you're going up, it's competitive, highly competitive. You know, the first team's going against each other quite a bit. You're getting a ton of reps. It's a new scheme, you know, defensively, offensively. So it just gives you a chance to rep some things that, you know, you haven't had to, you know, practice against a lot up to this point, and then kind of transition that into the game here. I think it's really productive work. It's good for us. We've done this quite a few times with a lot of different teams, but I think this has been a really good experience with the Chargers and real productive for us.
Last one for you, Drew. If this is your only game action of the preseason, where do you feel like your game is heading into week 1?
I feel good, you know. Like I said, tonight came out a little sluggish, but once we got going, it was all right. I think it's been a good camp. I think it's been a highly competitive camp with us and our defense. I think that's helped prepare us for what the regular season will be like. You know, we still have a lot of work to do between now and then. You know, we're talking more than 2 weeks before our first game. And there's no greater sense of urgency than right now. We still got a lot of work to do. We'll see how the roster kind of whittles down, and but you know, we got to be ready to roll. We will be.
Drew, thanks as always for taking some time.
Yep.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All
right, Evan, thanks so much. When we talked to Michael Thomas about Drew Brees, he said he's always looking to improve, film, growing, never resting on what he's already accomplished. Impressive showing by the Saints. We'll have more from Carson, the NFL on CBS.